Hey y'all, my name is Rebecca Reese. Some of you guys might know here. I help volunteer at Serving on the Line. And so this is what sparked my little presentation today. So we're gonna learn about food proportions, but make it easy. So does anyone know, why do we need to know the proportions of the food we serve?
So that we can serve the customers the best way possible.
Yes, ideally. So we know what to eat, but how much to eat is super tricky according to my plate. And I wore a cool shirt today to show what my plate is.
Very cool.
And if someone is on a specific diet, like the renal diet or the carb diet, and want to know to order food from your station, it's very essential to know how many carbs, what is that proportion in order that's in the food. So, why do we need to know the proportions if we're given the ladles and scoopers on the line?
So that we don't serve too much or too little.
Yes, ideally. So, often spoons are in the wash, your coworker grabs your scooper, and you're like, I don't know which spoon to use. So we don't, like you said, we don't overserve, we don't underserve. And so if the customer asks for more butter, which often happens a lot on the potato line, we know what measurements to say to agree. Sir, do you want about a teaspoon of butter more? Okay. So next we can use food models to understand how,
You're good.
So, next we can use food models. So let's look at our food models to better understand what proportions are. So I provided a food tray of the different food models that we can use in a proportion. So the first one is a slice of tomato. It's about 3 ounces, but that's kind of hard to remember. Just remember that 3 ounces of a tomato or a protein fits in the size of our palm, and you guys can pass it around to see what 3 ounces looks like. Next, using a food model, we can look at half a cup of mashed potatoes, breakfast cereals, or oatmeals and grits. So you can tell it's a little bit different than the 3 ounces of the tomato. Next, we have 1/3 cup of beans, just the right size of our sides. So if you look at it, it looks exactly like the 3 ounces of our tomato, but you can see that there is a little bit of room. And lastly, I provided a slice of cheese. This is about 1 ounce of slice of cheese. So next, here's our dilemma. So what if I don't have food models to know I'm serving on the line, I can't pull out the food model of the tomato? We also often don't want to carry around measuring cups. Often we don't have ladles as well to tell us, so we can use our handy dandy hand as a rough guide and then refer back to the food models for assistance. Okay, so I created a handout that has been passed around to y'all. So the size of our hand, the palm, about 3 ounces of meat. About 2 servings of meat, which is 6 ounces, is required for adults. So this works with poultry, fish, and meat. And then about 3 ounces equals to 1 serving of protein. So when a person comes up and is like, hey, I would like that grilled chicken, how many ounces is it? What would you use in order to refer to the customer?
The palm of your hand.
Yes, and that's about 3 ounces, sir. So next we can use the thumb. 1 thumb from the knuckle to the tip is about 1 teaspoon. So it's great for peanut butter, great for mayonnaise, and so does anyone know how many tablespoons equals how many teaspoons?
Is it 2?
1 tablespoon equals 3 teaspoons, but that was a good answer. Next, we can also use our thumb. This also is about 1 ounce of cheese. So 1 1/2 ounce of cheddar cheese counts as 1 of the 3 cups recommended for dairy. And then dairy is right here on the My Food plate. Next, we can also use a tennis ball. We all can envision a tennis ball. We have all played with one, played with our dogs, and about a tennis ball is the size of 1 serving of fruit. So when someone comes up and says, hey, I don't know this serving of fruit or the ounces in this apple, can you tell me? And we can tell them that is 1 serving of fruit. And that's about count as 1 carbohydrate. So next we can use 2 hands cupped together, and we can look at this as in for our veggies. 2 hands equals serving of veggies. So adult women, they need about 2.5 cups to 3 cups. Adult men need about 2.5 cups to 4. And 1 large sweet baked potato equals 1 cup of veggies. So on our potato line, we can say it's about 1 cup considering as a veggie. And then we can also use our fist, that equals 1 cup. So 1 serving of half cup of cereal equals the cooked pasta. So remember, this is just about 1 cup when you're doing your pastas, your veggies, and also your cooked fruits. And lastly, a handful is about 1 to 2 ounces of snack foods. So in all, we know that the importance of proportion sizes, we can use food models for references, but when we're in a time crunch, we can use our handy dandy hand. So we're happy serving the food, we're educating our customers, they're happy because we're not over-serving, under-serving. The managers are also happy too because they know where their budget's going. And then in all, we have a handy dandy tool that's on us forever to help educate ourselves and our future customers. So that wraps up my presentation. Does anyone have any questions?
I don't think so. Good job.